Hello everyone, in this video I am going to create a PaperCut art in the app IBIS Paint X. So let's get started. I am going to use a 3:4 ratio landscape canvas for this PaperCut illustration. So first this is going to be like inside the circle frame illustration. So here I am going to use the felt tip and hard brush, and I'm going to draw a basic circle using the circle tool here. So here I'm using like a beige color for this. Try to place it almost at the center of the canvas and big as possible, because we have to add all the details inside the circle. And while using the bucket tool, make sure you use the current layer option, and at the last layer I'm going to fill the background with this blue color. So now between these two layers, between the circle layer and the background blue color layer, I am going to place details layer by layer. So make sure you draw each details in a separate layer. Like if you're drawing a mountain, one mountain in one layer, make sure you do that. So here I'm going to use this color, and I'm using the felt tip and hard brush. So drawing a basic mountain shape. And another thing is, when you draw this, make sure you draw not only on the circle, inside the circle, but also from like covering the entire area. So otherwise, if you use the bucket tool, it will fill the entire layer. Like you can see, I'm starting from the end of the canvas, from the left side corner of the canvas to the right side corner, so that we get the exact shape while filling with bucket tool. Now in the another layer, first mountain layer, I feel I'm not happy with that mountain, so I'm just redesigning that shape. Now I'm going to draw another mountain here. So I'm using like a mustard color for this, and using the bucket tool. Okay, our mountains are over. At the background I am going to draw the sun with its rays. So for the sun I am going to use this mild yellow color, and using the kaleidoscope ruler with like 10 or 12 divisions. You can use even 14 divisions. This is especially for the rays. But if you draw a circle separately using the circle tool, and if you use the kaleidoscope for the the rays, we cannot place the center of the circle perfectly. For that sake, I am drawing the circle using the kaleidoscope ruler itself. And in another layer at the background of the sun, I am using the same kaleidoscope ruler without changing its position or the number of division, but I'm using the line tool to draw the line for that race. So make lines in the even number, because we have to fill that lines with the color. And also see how the spacing looks. Here you can see, if we try to fill with the line, with the color, you can see if there is any gap left at the corner of the canvas, like this thing happens. So make sure you touch the corner of the canvas whenever you draw, especially with the circle background. Okay, now I need to fill this line. I will fill this space. So I'm going to add one more race here. So again, I didn't touch the corner of the circle, so I'm making the shortcut here. Okay, yeah, now it's almost done. And at the front I wish to add two cactus. So at the top of all the layer before the frame, circle frame layer, I'm going to draw two cactus with teal green color. So I wish to keep this artwork in the earth tone color palette style. So I am using only such colors here. You can also try with some bright colors or in a monochrome style. And again here I'm going to draw another cactus. Don't draw the same shape, or if you want to duplicate that cactus you can simply duplicate and make it smaller or make it bigger, or you can flip it horizontally so that it looks like there is another cactus instead of it's like a copy paste. And many asked for a slow tutorial. Don't go too fast while making the video. So in this video I tried my best to keep the video slow as much as possible. And now what you have to do is duplicate all the layers except the background layer, which is that blue color layer. So duplicate all the sun and mountain layers, cactus layer, and the frame as well. Now go to the second means bottom duplicated thing layer, and go to style filter and go to that drop shadow. You can see it gives very good shadow. Even if you draw by hand you cannot get such a beautiful shadow effect. That's the special of IBIS Paint X. So here for the circle alone I wish to keep shadow for on all the directions. So I am applying the shadow drop shadow filter two to three times to almost fill the entire circle shadow. Here you can see I am applying this for the third time so that we have completed the entire circle, because when it comes to drop shadow effect it consider angles, like it make we have to choose the angle and it applies shadow in that angle. So in all other layers like cactus or mountain you have to fix with one angle alone, but only for the circle we have to fill all the sides of the circle, all no. Now you can see, so this easy process here. We don't need to do so much things for the shadow as we have the filter option. Now for the last mountain, so here you can see the details are good, shapes are good, colors are good, but it feels empty, like there is no any internal means minute details in this artwork. So here I have to add two shadow effects. So you can see I am using the drop shadow effect two times here. So again, as I told, I feel this is very blank, so I'm going to add some color shadows for these layers, and for some layers I'm going to add some textures. So let's see one by one. For the rays, I'm going to create a clipping mask, clipping layer, and choose this yellow color and move it little bit to the brighter yellow, and using the airbrush trapezoid 20% brush I'm going to make it gradient, like I'm just going from inside to outside. You can see how beautiful it looks after applying that color. It looks really gradient and with more details. I wish to keep it more bright at the center, so I'm going for very mild yellow. Now for the circle, at the center of the circle I'm going to make it lighter. So for almost all the layers I'll be using this airbrush trapezoid 20% brush. Now this is good. Again for the mountains, just make a clipping layer, choose the color of the mountain and move little bit to the white side of the color palette, color scale. In the same way I am going to create the clipping layer for all the mountains and choose the milder version of that color. Like this, and for the cactus as well. So here I am applying this only at the left hand side, like where we have the shadow effect. Now I'm going to add some texture to this. Also I'm going to add a little white strokes at the corner of all the details like this. Go very slow, and also it has to be very minute, not too much white details. These small details really have a good impact on our artwork. It really pops out the art details or shapes from the background and from the shadow. So do like this. Also here. Now choose any texture brush you have on the default section, or from any brush that you have downloaded from online, and add a texture like this. This also gives a good appearance to the artwork. Here you can see once we added the details, it looks more appealing and with high, how to say, how it have some good quality details. Okay. Now in the same way I am going to do for the mountains. Go to the mountain layer and choose the milder color. Here I am going to add some canvas texture. If you want this texture, I have already shared the QR code of this brush. Check out the free brush, the QR code video where I have shared the brush QR code. So I add some canvas details, then going to the airbrush trapezoid 20% brush and adding the white details here. Now for the second mountain, same, I'm going to use the milder color in that mountain, and using the texture brush I'm going to add some texture. Now go to the third mountain in the same way. The process is almost same. Okay, we are almost done. Now for the sun and its rays. Now I'm going to add some texture. Now go to the clipping layer of the rays. Again I'm going to use the kaleidoscope ruler. Don't change the division value. Okay, we have done that white stroke for all the layers. Now at the top of all the layer I am going to add some texture. So I am going to use the charcoal mode brush for adding the texture. So charcoal mode brush. Don't add too much texture because it will not be that much good. Okay, this is enough, single stroke. And also I'm going to change the blending mode to add. You can also try another blending modes like hard light, soft light, overlay, or lighten, or screen. So you can try these brushes blending modes, but I'm okay with the add blending mode. Now adjust the opacity of the layer. Now I'm going to save this as PNG and I will show how it looks. Yes, it is really good. I hope you like this tutorial, learned something new from me. If so, subscribe to my channel and check out all other videos from my channel. Thank you for watching.